Breaking news as we come on the air. We're looking live at the site of a fatal house fire in Winnebago County. What authorities say was discovered in the rubble.
Plus, more than a dozen brush fires burn across Wisconsin. The new resources used to overtake the flames and Governor Scott Walker's action today.
And construction crews are happy to see May after April's winter weather. How the record snow delayed construction projects this spring.
And right now, strong thunderstorms already firing up across parts of the plains. Eventually, this activity could move into northeastern Wisconsin tonight. We'll take a look at this system and time it out with Storm Center 2 Pinpoint Predictor coming up in just a few minutes. This is Action 2 News at 4.
From WBAY TV, coverage you can count on. Action 2 News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the breaking news in Winnebago County we have been following since this morning. This afternoon at 4, we are now learning investigators found 2 bodies inside a home that caught fire.
And the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office tells us it is no longer searching for Jeremy Wallenfang, who lived there. He is the man authorities called a person of interest earlier today. Nolan Blair joins us now live at the scene after hearing an update from authorities this afternoon. Nolan.
Jeff, behind me is what's left of the house here in the town of Clayton. Authorities were called out around 7 o'clock this morning to what they're describing as a chaotic scene. It included heavy smoke and reports of gunfire. That prompted a call to the SWAT team as Jeremy Wallenfang was named a person of interest. Officials warned the public he could be armed and on foot.
Until the identification is made, we have good reason to believe that he would be one of the victims or one of the persons in there.
So that search was called off again this afternoon. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Office says this fire is under investigation, but the community is not in danger. Reporting live in Winnebago County, Nolan Blair, Action 2 News.
Nolan, thanks. New video into our newsroom showing Wapaka firefighters working to put out a wildfire in the town of Belmont. Officials say today was the first time they've battled a fire from the air. You can see one of 2 air tankers swoop by as part of dumping 600 gallons of fire retardant. Wildfires are popping up all over the place, and in response to the ongoing fire dangers, Governor Walker declared a state of emergency today. As part of the declaration, the National Guard will be sent in to help fight the fires. Right now, a lot of Wisconsin is under very high fire danger. As you can see by this map, most of our area is in either yellow, which means high fire danger. The rest is orange, where the risk of fire is very high.
We're learning new information about the air quality in northwestern Wisconsin after last week's oil refinery explosion and fire. The Environmental Protection Agency says it's finished monitoring the site in Superior and found no elevated levels of anything toxic. The blast at Husky Energy last Thursday injured at least 13 people, prompted a widespread evacuation, and sent huge plumes of black smoke into the air. Local and federal agencies are working together to investigate the cause of that explosion. The EPA will now provide oversight as a third party continues to monitor air quality. We are working to learn more about a Seymour apartment fire. Crews were called to North Main Street this afternoon. Our crew at the scene says the roof of the 16-unit building seemed the most affected by those flames. That fire, though, is now under control. Seymour police tell us all tenants are safe and are getting assistance from a victim crisis response team.
A Nichols woman faces 10 charges in 2 separate cases. Prosecutors say she got a teen runaway high on meth and then made them commit crimes. In the second case, she's accused of forcing a man with a disability to perform sex acts for money. Court documents say investigators were called to Shauna Baxter's home in November on claims the 28-year-old was hiding runaways. One of the juveniles told authorities she injected 3 victims with meth several times a day and would then make them steal phones at stores to trade or sell for more drugs. Prosecutors say Baxter admitted to the accusations. Investigators also say Baxter made a former roommate, a low-functioning adult, perform sex acts for money. Officials say they found Facebook messages to back up those charges.
Taking a live look at the Appleton Skycam right now, a beautiful and warm afternoon before thunderstorms roll in. Meteorologist David Ernst is in Storm Center 2 to explain when we can expect those storms. David?
Yeah, still several more hours before any organized thunderstorm activity begins to roll through. The rough timeline is from about 9 p.m. for western areas, so this would be closer to the I-39 corridor, and storms could linger as long as until 2, 3, 4 in the morning for areas closer to the lake shore. So scattered strong thunderstorms move in late tonight. Wind gust could be up to 40, 60 miles per hour, some nickel to quarter-size hail possible, and certainly expecting heavy downpours with these storms as well. But right now, Pinpoint Digital Doppler radar is quiet. Starting to see a few storms pop up across northern sections of Iowa on the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and farther southwest of that, a tornado watch is posted where even stronger storms are expected to develop and are in fact in the process of developing across parts of Nebraska and Kansas. Those are the storms that will eventually be heading this way, but not be nearly as strong as they will be earlier this evening to our southwest. Ahead of those storms, still warm temperatures 70s and 80s right now this evening, a mix of sun and clouds. The storms begin to approach for the late evening hours. We'll take a more detailed look at the timing of this system with Pinpoint Predictor coming up.
David, thanks. New at 4, the Commerce Department finds U.S. construction spending dropped nearly 2% in March. This is the biggest setback in 11 months. Officials say residential construction was down 3.5% and non-residential projects fell about 0.4%. Spending on government projects, however, did not change.
Here in northeast Wisconsin, construction crews will long remember the month of April for this setback, the record amount of snow. Hard to believe it was just a few weeks ago. At Denmark High School, a $14 million gymnasium project is under construction, and crews are quite happy the calendar has turned to May. After breaking ground last fall, work throughout the winter months was right on schedule, but then March arrived, bringing below normal temperatures as a precursor to a record 3 feet of snow in April.
We had to dig out the site, the entire site. That probably took us 3 days, but we probably lost a good 2 weeks in the month of March and April because of the weather. So it set us back, but you know, we're hoping that Mother Nature is kind to us throughout the summer and it's not too wet of a spring, so we can get back into stay on schedule for the owners.
And with a deadline to complete the project set for early October, crews are now taking steps to make up for the lost time. We'll explain what those are tonight at 6.
Presidential politics, we now know what Special Counsel Robert Mueller wants to ask the president, and the commander-in-chief calls it disgraceful. The New York Times released a list of likely subjects and questions Mueller plans to ask the president in an interview. The special counsel is investigating whether the Trump administration colluded with Russia in the 2016 presidential election. Mueller wants to ask about the firings of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and FBI Director James Comey. President Trump has continually called the investigation a witch hunt and insists his campaign took part in no collusion.
A hospital in Washington state is working to contact patients after finding one of their nurses may have infected them with hepatitis C.
How officials believe the nurse was able to spread the virus to patients.